in the heart of the magical realm of Florwell, where the trees hummed lullabies and flowers whispered secrets, lived a gentle fairy named Dr. Lila. Her cottage stood at the edge of the whispering woods, nestled among bluebell meadows and mossy stones. Unlike other fairies who danced in moonlight and played in the rivers, Lila spent her days studying ancient healing scrolls and mixing shimmering herbs into glowing potions. Dr. Lila wasn't a typical fairy. Her wings sparkled in shades of lilac and silver, delicate yet powerful. Her hair was the color of twilight lavender, braided with strands of silken grass. Her teal eyes always held a quiet glow, as if reflecting the soft light of distant stars. Wherever she went, the air carried the scent of mint and rosewood, a sign of healing. Each day, magical creatures from far and wide came to her garden clinic. A songbird with a hoarse voice, a squirrel whose tail had lost its fluff, a dragnet with sleep trouble, all found comfort in her gentle words and sparkling remedies. She never turned anyone away. Her satchel was always ready, her wand always warmed with kindness. But one misty morning, something changed. The forest, once alive with chatter and chirps, had gone quiet. The skies dimmed, even though the sun should have been rising. Flowers drooped. The animals no longer came, and when Lila flew to investigate, she found creatures huddled in silence. Eyes dim, movements sluggish, magic flickering faintly like a dying candle. She recognized the signs. This wasn't a normal illness. It was the grey fade, a rare affliction that stole joy and drained magical energy, especially dangerous in enchanted lands like Floravelle. It hadn't been seen in centuries. Dr. Lila flew to the crystal archives, a glowing tree library tended by owl scribes, to search for clues. With trembling hands, she found a legend buried in a dusty tome. Only the tears of the first light can cure the grey fade. Found in the pool of Lumora, guarded by the forgotten flame. Without hesitation, she packed her satchel, wrapped a glowing cloak around her shoulders, and prepared to journey beyond the forest, a place few fairies ever dared to go. She wasn't alone for long. As she reached the outer roots of the whispering woods, a talking lantern bobbed before her. "Took you long enough," it squeaked. "Name's Wick. You're going to need me." And so began Lila's quest. Wick the lantern had once belonged to a fire sorcerer and knew the safest, and not so safe, paths across Florwell. He hovered ahead, grumbling about mud and moss, while Lila followed, carefully noting changes in the air. Their first stop was the Gloomshade Marsh, a place shrouded in fog and filled with illusions. Lila had to use her wand to part the mist and find the hidden stepping stones. Midway through, a shriek pierced the air. A young wispling, pale and flickering, was caught in a wine trap. Lila acted swiftly, soothing the creature with a gentle song, untangling the dark vines with a healing spell. As the wispling's glow returned, it whispered, "Beware the flame that forgets its warmth." Troubled but undeterred, Lila pressed on. Next came the Stone Grove Caves, where ancient spirits tested all who entered. There she met Tibbet, a grouchy herbalist gnome who had once been a healer himself but had abandoned magic after failing to save his family during the last grey fade. Tibbet at first refused to help, but after seeing Lila's determination and remembering his own lost spark, he joined her. He carried satchels of rare herbs and muttered constantly, but beneath his beard, a flicker of hope had returned. They traveled together, facing wind wolves, a riddle bridge made of clouds, and the haunting Vale of Memories, a valley where illusions of the past tried to tempt them from their path. When they finally reached the pool of Lumora, it shimmered like liquid starlight under a sky of endless twilight. But the forgotten flame, its guardian, was no ordinary creature. It took the form of a phoenix made of silver and blue fire, eyes glowing with sorrow. To take the tears of first light, it boomed, "You must give a memory you treasure most." Lila hesitated. She remembered the day she received her healer's satchel from her grandmother, the warmth of her hug, the smell of thyme and cinnamon in her hair. Giving that memory meant losing the feeling forever. But she looked back at Tibbet, at Wick, at the image of Florwell fading into grey. She closed her eyes, whispered goodbye to that moment, and stepped into the water. The pool rippled, the phoenix wept, and in the heart of the light, the golden tear crystallized in her palm. With the tear of first light secured, the trio raced home. Everywhere they passed, plants stirred, creatures blinked awake, and color began to return. Lila distilled the tear into a golden mist and spread it across the skies of Florwell with her wand. One by one, the flowers lifted their heads. The rivers sang. The wind carried laughter once more. Tibbet reopened his old clinic. Vic decided to write a book. And Dr. Lila, though missing a treasured memory, found joy in the smiles of every creature she healed. Every month, under the full moon, she visited the pool of Lumera. And sometimes, just for a heartbeat, she smelled cinnamon and thyme in the breeze. The healing never truly ends.